actually give you your mean difference right there. That's what you're after. So this is where you have to go with, oh, this is the dependent data. Okay, so this is where you would just go, mu of difference is 0. Just kidding, except it said the average man has a wingspan of about 2 inches more than his height. So what would that be? Instead of 0, it would really need to be, if this was the average man, they're saying, so x mu of wingspan minus the mean of his height should be, aren't they saying that this one should be 2 more? So really, my difference should be 2 is what they're claiming. 2 inches more than his height. So then it's saying from the data, is there evidence to support the wingspan for their players exceed their height by more than 2 inches? So that one would be greater than. That part makes sense? That's the H in phantoms. The A in phantoms are your assumptions. Okay, so randomness. Do we have a random selection? Yep, you were told a random sample of 40 players. Okay, that was given. Another one. N, which is 40, needed to be greater than 30. Why?
To meet the normal conditions.
Okay, so that tells you, therefore, your sampling distribution, you need that phrase, is approximately normal. Okay, now sidebar. Why do we care? Note to self. Now we're able to use, it's mean, so we're able to use a t-distribution. And we're able to estimate a p-value. That's why we care. Because then you're able to say, oh, based on that probability, we can reject or fail to reject the null. Okay, and then our third one is that 10% condition to where, okay, so 10 times your sample size. So that's 400. And they told you the league's roster of 500 players, so that's less than 500 players. So that is your condition for independence, if you care. But again, it's not really a check, if you, like you were asking me earlier. Okay, N, name the procedure. Since this is dependent data, everybody's clear on that. This is, you can either say it is a one sample t-test, or you can say that this is a paired t-test. Either one. You just got to make sure it's clear that it's not 2 samples. Okay, if we're going to do phantoms, T would have to be given to you. Because you don't, it's not going to be calculator based, so I'm not worried about that. O is obtain a p-value, which is 0.001. They gave that to you. Okay, M is make a conclusion. So what's my conclusion? P-value is less than alpha. Alpha is 0.05. What do we do?
Reject the null.
P is low. You reject the hoe. And then my question said, you always want to make sure we answered the question. Is there evidence to support that the wingspan for yada, yada, yada? All right, here we go. This is my F. Since the p-value of 0.001 is less than 0.05, which was alpha, we reject H naught. Okay, so if we're rejecting that, that means, you know what, we don't believe, we have evidence to say, you know what, it's really not 2. We have evidence to support that the mean difference is greater than 2. So we have convincing evidence. Okay, what did we just do? Mean difference in wingspan and height is more than 2 inches. On average, just because the phrase up in the question said on average. Okay, another way you could say it. We have convincing evidence to support. All right, so we can phrase it that way. I just wanted to talk about mean difference, not difference between the mean. Or we have convincing evidence to support, go back and type it or write it as the question, that wingspan for NBA players exceeds their height by more than 2 inches on average. Basically, you're just going to rewrite the question or rewrite what it was that they were asking there.
Miss Knight, would we have to write like the parameter down for this one?
It depends on what they ask. More than likely, yes. And I was going to go do that part here in just a second. What would my parameter be?
Would it be like the true difference between the wing and the height?
Between wingspan and height is 2 inches. Yep, on average.
The true mean difference, because isn't it mean?
True. Yes, the true mean. It is a mean. Yep. The true mean difference between your wingspan and your height is on average 2 inches. Yes. Good catch.
Miss Knight, what did you mean by on like the assumption step 3? Like what do you mean by like independence there?
Sometimes they'll just say like it's like a random condition, a normal condition, and an independent condition. Sometimes they'll just kind of call it that. Like y'all said that, oh, well, this is how you know, what's the theorem that allows us to say 30 is something more than 30 is our magic number? What's that theorem?
Central limit theorem.
CLT.
CLT, yep. So that is the qualification, if you will, for your sampling distribution to be approximately normal. And then they'll sometimes call this the 10% condition, random condition, normal condition, 10%. 10%, they sometimes always just call it, sometimes they'll say independence. It's basically, as long as your sample size, 40, is less than 10% of the population, then it's okay to assume we are not going to sample the same group twice. That whole sampling without replacing. So, you know, my big box of Skittles in the room. So if I'm going to take 40 of them at a time, as long as there's more than 400 Skittles in there, it's safe to assume I'm not going to get the same combination, the exact same 40 at any given time.
Okay, thank you. What was confusing me is that we know this one is dependent, so that's what was throwing me off.
That's the whole, right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Totally see okay, I see what you're saying there. That's implying if I take remember sampling distribution. So this would be, this is an X bar of a difference, this is an X bar of a difference, X bar of a difference, X bar of a difference, right? It's every single X bar difference, and each one of these has 40 players in it. So each person is independent. But I totally see what you're saying on that, of why that part is confusing. I just wouldn't take a group, the same group of 40 people, to compare at any given time. On that one.
Okay, thank you.
Y'all hung well. Y'all done really well. All right. If you were with me last night and you don't want to hear about like the whole test thing, then I'll let you. Goodbye. You're good for the night. I know you're like, oh my God. I'll be back tomorrow night. I'm gonna do 5:30 and 7 again. I'll plan on that. If you want to hang out and hear a little bit of detail about the test and timing and that kind of thing, then I will hang out. Miss you guys.
Bye, Miss Knight.
Bye. I'll see some of y'all tomorrow.
What?
Hopefully all of you tomorrow. Anybody have questions on, give everybody a chance to sign out if they don't want to hear the same thing again. See what I told them yesterday. A couple of things that are that was okay. Hang on just a second. Let me tell my give me a second. Let me get my stepmother off my back. Tell her she needs to wait a few minutes. Okay. All right. All ready? So, looking to see who was on here yesterday. All right. Now I've got to get back to share my screen. I'm just so excited. I think I get to go ahead. Nadia, go ahead.
Oh, because I was on on Monday.
Yep. You don't have to hang out if you don't want, because I'm not doing the whole thing, but I'm just gonna talk a little bit about timing stuff.
Okay.
Do you have a specific question?
Not yet, but maybe I will.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to, again, I can't see all your faces, but you need to make sure that you know how to upload something. So there's that AP demo. If you have not taken an AP test yet, I highly recommend you go take pictures or whatever and practice uploading on the AP demo so that you know you don't have issues on, oh my gosh, how in the world do I do this? Our prediction, of course, everything in stats is a prediction, but we predict, or we know this for a fact, that question 1 is 55% of the grade, question 2 is 45% of the grade. So we also know that you have 25 minutes plus 5 minutes to upload. Okay, those of you that have taken a test, it does not stop you at 25 minutes, right? If you've taken a test, it does stop you at 25 or it doesn't?
It kind of gives you a warning
The
of
timer
5
goes
minutes.
red. It lets you know that you have 5 minutes left, but you can still keep working after, like, you don't have to start submitting, but like you should.
Okay, so you have 25 minutes and then it turns red?
Yes.
Yeah, it turns red and it counts down.
So really at the very beginning when you start, does it tell you 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm. And the
Okay.
problem is, like, if you're doing it on a Google Doc or something and you're on a different tab, you have to, like, frequently check the time because there's not, like, a sound or anything that says, like, you have 5 minutes left.
Gotcha. Okay. So when that turns red, you do not wait until the last minute to start uploading. Remember when they came out with the news on Sunday that they're going to let you email, they will only accept your email if they can tell that you tried the other ways to submit. Like they can tell. So if you spent 30 minutes working and then email the question, they're not going to go for that. So just remember, if it times you out and you didn't have a chance to hit submit, they can see that. So you do not wait till the very, very end. Okay, and then once we learned this the hard way, once you have already uploaded and you hit submit, or once you've uploaded, do not click on the button that says back to question. My best friend's son or somebody did that, and it got rid of the upload. They couldn't, and then they didn't have time to upload it again. Like, oh. So once you do not upload until you're ready to upload. Do not go back to the question. Okay, and then 45 minutes. Okay, so that gives you, is it 20 minutes total? So that's 15 to work plus the 5 minutes that are now in red to upload.